Hi everyone. Okay, I accidentally just ended the last live, but we are getting started now. So I'm gonna wait a second for everyone to come in, and then we're gonna start talking about success, start talking about simplicity, how to use both in your business. I'm gonna wait a second for everyone to start popping in. Hi Lisa, how are you? Oh my gosh. Hi everyone coming in. As you're coming in, say hello to me, leave a comment, tell me where you're tuning in from, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just waiting for everything to get rolling. It always takes a minute. I'm super excited today. This is going to be a really fun master class. We have a lot to cover today. It'll probably be about an hour. And I just did a nice heartwarming, heart-opening breathing meditation that has me ready to chat with you all today. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm sure we'll have friends popping in, so as you're coming in, oh, you're in North Carolina, awesome, cool, so nice to meet you. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm super excited because I have a lot I want to share today. Hey everybody, hi friends coming in. So I'm going to do a little guided meditation first to kind of get us grounded. Like I said, I just did a meditation. Also, my dog's here. He says hello. Say hi, buddy. I'm going to give us a little guided meditation to get us started. And then, yeah, we'll dive into the content of the masterclass. So go ahead and lean back, whether you're here with me live or watching the replay. Maybe just form an intention of why you're here. What is it that you're wanting to create in your business? What is it that you're wanting to create in your life? Are you craving more simplicity, more ease, more allowance, for it to be more in flow with your business, with your lifestyle, for both of them to cohabitate together? Can you notice how your body feels right now? If you feel any tension, can you take a deep breath, sending your breath to that place, and then letting it relax. Letting yourself settle, letting yourself become present, letting yourself tune into this moment right now, this powerful moment. And opening up your heart to that intention that you set, seeing if you can feel simplicity now. Seeing if you can feel more ease now. Again, breathing deeply into any space of you that resists that. For me, it's often around my heart. For some of my clients, it's around their sacral. And then just breathing out nice and slow. Feeling that space open. Feeling yourself connect to that space with love. Knowingness. Good, yay. Okay, you all, so let's get started. I'm so excited that I have some friends live here today. So whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay, my asks for joining a masterclass are usually to just be open and have like a beginner's mind, beginner's ears. Because some things I say, maybe you've heard before, but maybe you can learn it in a new way or embody it in a new way. Some of the things might be totally new that you've never heard before. Some of the things might feel maybe a bit, because I'm going to be talking about, having a very successful business, having a lot of space in your life. I know to me, those things used to feel really out of reach. So if you're in that place right now, if it feels charged or activating, just be with that, right? And again, just approach with openness and just a little bit of curiosity, right? Feel free if you want to share anything from this masterclass, you're totally welcome to. If you're the kind of person who likes to, take little screenshots and share on Instagram, that's always welcome. And yeah, and I really love too, we have a couple people here live. I really love as much as possible to have some interaction. So if you want to reply to anything I say, if you have any questions, so if I say something and you'd like to know more about that, or you'd like to ask a question that applies to your life and your business, please do so, especially for those of you who are here live. I want to help you get the most out of this class. And how we can do that is by us interacting, right? So that's it. We're going to dive right in. So I would love to know, for those of you who are here live, Hi, Ilsa. So nice to see you here. I can't wait for Abundance Queens either. It's going to be, I keep saying this, but it's true. I am just excited to be a participant as I am to be like the facilitator, to be the one, like the host, because these classes are going to be absolutely amazing. I might also be talking to my dog. He keeps wanting to go out, but it's not his time yet. Also, you all check this is how much snow we have. It is April. Do you see this? Do you see what's happening? Isn't that wild? I can't believe it. So I would love to know, for those of you who are here live, or if you're watching the replay, you can also chime into the comments. How do you want your lifestyle and your business to work together? I'm going to go let him out, actually. So that's my question. How do you want your business and your lifestyle to work together? How do you want it to feel? Do you want to create more space? Do you feel like you're working too much? Do you feel like I don't know the things to do to make things work? Like, where are you at with that balance of a successful business and your dream lifestyle? So head to the chat box. Let me know. I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story and why I'm so big on simplicity. Hi, Kanal. So good to see you. Oh my gosh. Well, I can't see you, but I'm glad you're here. I know we haven't talked in quite a while. So for me, I am simplicity is one of my biggest values in my business. I try to keep everything super straightforward, very to the point, right? Very just concise. And that's for a few reasons, right? The main reason is this. I love to have a lot of space in my life. I love to have a lot of free time. I love to not have a full schedule. I love to have hours. I'm a meditator. I take a lot of time to practice compared to how I used to, right? There's a lot of people who practice a lot more than I do. But I love doing the inner work, the self-reflection work. I love spending time in nature. I love spending time with my friends, my family, my partner, my dog, all that kind of stuff, right? And when I first got started in my business, I was coming out of an engineering career, which was great, right? It was a great career, but I was very used to working nonstop. Especially in grad school, I was like constantly working, sometimes in a lab for like freaking 15 hours at a time. I was teaching or taking dance classes 6 or 7 days a week and, doing all my coursework, all that kind of stuff. I only actually lasted in the engineering field for 4 months. I only lasted 4 months, y'all. But I was really just like all about productivity, getting things done, doing all the stuff. Like that's what an engineering brain is trained to do, right? Make things productive, make things like there is no space because we're trying to jam it all in together to make it as efficient as possible. And so that's what my life was. It was as efficient as possible. But it wasn't really, because I was kind of burnt out and I was doing things for the sake of doing things and doing things not on purpose, but just because I was just in that habit, right? And so when I came into my business at first, I brought that same kind of mentality where I was working a lot. I didn't really know what things were the things that were actually the things that worked. And I had this like belief too that like there was some formula that I had to find, right? Whether that be in the way I wrote my posts, and how many emails I sent out, the way my sales page were written, even how I phrase my calls to action, how I speak, all of these things. There's some formula that I need to learn. I need to like hunt down this formula and implement it, and then everything will just flow. And what I learned, right, through working with incredible mentors and through, a lot of my own wisdom, like tapping into how do I actually want this to work, is just that it's going to work better. Your business is going to work better when you line it up with your values and the lifestyle that you want to create, for a few different reasons. One, if you are working with people are going to gravitate towards you if you are in alignment with the kind of lifestyle that you want to lead, and you are leading the kind of lifestyle that they want to lead. So now I really don't work that much. I've kind of developed this sense, okay, here's, I can do simple things. I can do straightforward things. I can I've really honed in on how I speak to people, all that kind of stuff. It's just very me. And it's much more efficient now, because one little act, I can write one post from a place of a lot of intention and a lot of clarity and a lot of detail to like, okay, this is like how I actually want to do this, versus feeling like I have to write 12,000 posts. That's an exaggeration, but you understand, right? So I can write one post now, and it's more powerful than maybe 7 of posts that I wrote from a place of like, oh, I have to do this because I have to be writing every day or people will forget me, coming from a place of scarcity, right? I want to create a business that flows with ease and allows me lots of space in my personal life. Exactly. Me too, babe. I'm right there with you. Yeah, we'll talk about some of those ways, ease and magnetism. And I think that's where more and more of us are going, right? Especially, well, I see this with men too. My partner is actually like kind of the king of ease. He's like so good at just like getting a lot of stuff done, but he like mainly chills a lot. But a lot of people nowadays are leaning more and more and more towards really wanting ease and wanting simplicity, right? So the first key, right, is to form a belief. So often we have this belief system, right, that our business is going to work against our dream lifestyle, that we can't have both, that we can't have all the space and a very successful business where we're helping thousands of people. Or that can also be said, right, I had this fear around love and business. I can't have, this true love, this like amazing, like heart connection, pure love, and also have a successful business. And we know why this happens, right? We see it with our families. It's actually been passed down for generations and generations and generations. The level of ease we have now, for how many people it's available for now, didn't really used to be possible, because we were more in like actual survival mode as beings not that long ago. And especially for women too, or, people of color, we didn't have as many options to have so much ease, to have so much abundance, right? And now with more freedoms, both internally and externally, and of course, there's always more that we need to be tapping into and creating for each other, right? But with more freedom internally and externally, and also with things like the internet that can automate and that connect us, where are you all from? Usually when I make these master classes, I'll have people from the UK, people from all over Europe, people who are in Bali, people who are in Mexico, like all Canada, like all over the place, right? I live in the Rocky Mountains in Boulder, Colorado. I see more animals here than I do people. We see moose in our yard. I saw a fox 2 days ago just like creeping down the tree line into the national forest behind us. I see a lot of elk. We'll see hundreds of elk at a time, right? Cool. Yeah. So if I was just sitting here, right, just talking to the moose, I don't think they'd want to buy my masterclass, right? I don't think they'd want to like join my mastermind, all that kind of stuff, right? But because of the power of the internet, I can be here living my dream life, right? Which is like in the middle of nowhere in my little eco house in the woods, like a little hermit, and talk to you all around the world on my cell phone on a Saturday, which is amazing, right? So we have to start to understand and believe that what works best for us is also going to work best for our business. I'm going to give you an example of that from my life recently. I know different places around the world have different, I know this because I've taught classes around this, but I've taught about like, following your feminine cycles, all that kind of stuff. And some people in different countries would be like, yeah, I take a full day off of work whenever, like that's normal for the entire culture. Some places it's not. In the United States, you don't really like, if you're in a 9-to-5 or whatever, when you're an entrepreneur, you have more choice. But when you're in a 9-to-5, especially like I was an engineer, I worked with all these men who were like, what? Like they didn't know. But you don't really take days off around your cycle. Okay, so the last 2 days, I started my moon yesterday. The day before, I had really ungrounded energy. My PMS was like really intense. For those of you who haven't followed me for a while, I've been doing a lot of hormonal healing, healing my digestive system, healing my hormones, doing trauma therapy for the last like 8 months, okay? And it's come a long way. My dog is so cute. Oh my God, I just saw him jump in the snow. And I've been doing all of this work, which means I've had more sensitivity around my cycle, and it's gotten a lot better. Oh my gosh, it's gotten so much better. But I really ingrained this belief that like during those times, I don't have to work as much. I don't have to work at all if I don't want to, which is why I moved this class from yesterday to today. I had cramps, I had a headache, I was tired. I would not have done a good job, right? And I could have sat there and been like, well, I'm just going to force my way through it. Or I could have had a belief, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. The people who can catch it live will catch it live. I'll be a way better teacher than if I just, force myself to do it today. And this is the better option for everyone, right? The same thing with our business, with our marketing, okay? I made some super simple stories yesterday, like reposted stuff that I've posted. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Integrate and Uplevel, my 6-week mastermind starts on Monday. We have a few spots left. I filled maybe 6 spots in the last 2 days for it. And in the last 2 days, meaning the days where I was like, I don't feel good, okay? And so I shared just like simple stories. And besides that, I was just chilling on the couch. 2 days ago when my energy was ungrounded, I wanted to do a live. And I did a live sharing my intention for the masterclass. And for me, I wasn't as grounded as I like to be when I go live, but I just did it anyway. And I just trusted that it was enough. I even had to do some breathing afterward and be like, okay, you're enough. That was enough. Yeah, Lisa, I'm so excited too. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. So I did this, right? I did this breathing, was like, that was enough. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be on point. Your energy can be off. You can be, bleeding, like you can be on the couch. It's enough. And I had people come to me and say, I watched the first 1 minute of that video and that was all I needed and I'm in. Sign me up. I'm in. Right? I just made simple stories yesterday. And I didn't get in my head about like, oh, am I doing enough? That's part of the simplification process, right? Is not going back and forth with ourselves of, am I doing enough? Is this good enough? Are these stories enough? Is it clear enough? You put it out there and you detach. If you want space in your life, you also have to create mental space and emotional space where we're not constantly questioning ourselves. Does anybody here do this? If you put out a sales story, or you put a post up, or you put up a question box, or you put an offer together, whatever it is, you're like constantly questioning it and saying, is this good enough? Should it be more like this? Overthinking it. When we simplify, when we hone in and we keep our energy from like going all over the place, we can trust and we can detach from needing an outcome and needing to understand how the outcome will work. Trying to control so much in your business, controlling what you say, controlling how these stories get to be, right? And not letting it just flow from inspiration is a huge energy drain. It is a huge energy drain, and people can feel that on the other side of your screen. When it's simple, when there's trust infused in it, when it's enough, when you believe in yourself and you're not overthinking things, people can feel that. So you have to train yourself. How do you work with that? That might be the question, right? If I'm constantly questioning myself when I'm putting my things out, how do I work with that? You catch it, you observe it, you notice it. You don't have to force things to change. You don't have to layer on affirmations and say, oh, this is enough, I'm just going to post it. And then you're like looking and like being like, have people replied yet? It's deeper than that. It takes layers and layers and layers and layers of observing and working with your body and working with your breath and working with your trust and working with your mission and knowing that like you're guided. You're meant to be doing this work, right? So the overthinking is huge in simplifying. We have to learn to hone that in, to reel that in, right? And then what happens is you can be straightforward. Oftentimes in business, we have these concepts that we need to be talking to people in certain ways, and we start to fall into this energy in our creations, in our contents, when we're in the DMs talking to people, that is kind of manipulative. It has an undertone of pressure and manipulation. And again, people can feel that. I've been there. That's why in a lot of my teachings and a lot of my, like all of my courses actually, a big chunk of what we do is that work around our energy, our body, our trust in ourself, our knowingness in our mission and in our work, and connecting to something greater than ourselves, and learning how to trust that our needs are met when we're really coming from a place of caring about others through our business. And that doesn't mean we don't care about ourselves at all. I take great care of myself. Again, I love space, I love self-care, I take lots of baths, I get the massages, like all that kind of stuff, right? But can you see how if the intention is up here, it's this big umbrella of like, can I help the most people? Can I do the most service? Can I have the most impact in the world? You get to be included as part of that. And then you're not constantly stressing, right? Of like, are they going to sign up? Is this one person going to sign up? How am I going to make this money? Like all of this stuff. And then your content, your offers, your creations, all of this stuff doesn't have an undertone of manipulative, pressury energy. So we want to learn how to talk to people in a way that is very straightforward and to have an intention. And if that means you stop before you answer a message, if someone says, hey, I'm interested in your course. Hey, I'm interested in working with you one-on-one. If you pause before and say, am I approaching this person? Am I responding to this person from a place that is like, okay, now I need you to sign up. Now I'm going to stalk you for days and look at this message until you reply back. Now I'm going to be laying in bed at night thinking about you, right? Or can it be more open and say, I hope that if you're meant to work with me and this is the highest good for all, that you have the courage to do so, and I can trust you in that process. I can trust you to make that decision. And when you talk to people like that, oh my God, they love you because they can trust you. Because you trust them. Because you trust yourself. Because you trust the work. Because you trust your mission. Because you trust God, right? Trust is huge. I will say it 1,000 times. Okay? Thank you, Lisa. Yeah. So we have to keep infusing more straightforwardness, honesty, transparency, not asking ourselves, how can I say this in a way that they'll understand? How can I, or not understand, but they'll want to sign up. I've heard all of these tactics throughout my time studying business of how to sign people on the phone, how to write your call to action so that people will be more interested. What if people were just interested in you? What if you were enough? What if your heart, your message, your knowings, your wisdom was enough, and that there were people out there, and not everybody, but there were people out there who would resonate with you because they can see you, because they can connect with you, because you're being transparent and you're being honest and you're being real with them. Through your energy, through your writings, through your content, through your voice messages, through your sales calls, through everything in your business, being honest, being real, being true. Not needing to put on a mask, not feeling like you need to be someone else, like that other coach that you see being successful, so you're going to try to write your captions like them, right? And there's a difference between being inspired and coming from a place of, I'm not good enough, so I have to change. How's everybody doing so far? I don't even know what I just said. I feel like I come into these master classes and I have notes. I always do this. I have notes and then I'm like, did I say any of this? Oh, here's a good one. This kind of landed in me earlier, right? I was going to go live the other day. And I did this live. Some of you may have seen it. It's on my Instagram. It's called The First Year. And it's all about navigating your first year in business. And I've been cleaning up my relationship with social media for the last few months. I grew a really big audience before I had a business. So before I sold anything, I had about 40,000 followers. And then I got interested in creating courses, creating containers, being a teacher, being a coach, all of these kinds of things, right? And I noticed that I kind of like, for a while, I've been doing a lot of work around my ego for the last few years. And for a while, there was like, there's always going to be these ties of attachment. So this might be, for a while when I was growing my audience, it was attachment to vanity metrics. So there was a part of me, my heart part, right? And this was a very strong part, which is why I think it grew so well and why I connected with so many people, where I was really writing from my heart, right? And then there was a part of me that also just liked seeing big numbers, liked seeing, 8,000 likes on a photo. And I cleaned that up. I worked with that when I started my business, right? And, because like the algorithm has changed, my message has changed. I'm not just like going out and doing photo shoots anymore like I was. I was doing a lot of like dance and yoga photo shoots. So I cleaned that up, but then there comes this attachment to like, okay, how can I use my Instagram to start running my business? So I start cleaning that up, right? But I've been still continuing cleaning that attachment to like, what am I going to get out of it? And so when I go to do this live today, I noticed that I had this energy of back and forth of like, I want to, but I feel resistant. Like, I want to create this class for people, but like, will enough people show up to it? Right? This back and forth, back and forth. And I recognized that I was not committing. I wasn't fully committing. So while in my head, I was saying, okay, I'm going to do this live. In other parts of me, I was holding fear around it and not fully committing. And so I noticed myself saying things like, I think I'm going to go live in the next few days, instead of just being like, I'm going to do it. And again, we want to clear up as much of our energy as possible. This is super powerful when you're running a business. There needs to be less back and forth, less am I going to do it, am I not going to do it? Less should I post this, should I not post it? Again, same thing we were talking about earlier. Not putting things off. If there's something you know you need to do, right? Doing it, getting it done, getting it out of the way. If you know you need to make an investment, if you know you need to hire a VA because you need support, if you know even like a simple thing like you have a bill that you have the money for and it's just sitting there and you're just like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And that doesn't mean you have to stay on top of everything, but like really being committed. And again, there's a difference between commitment and like being in overdrive. You don't have to be in overdrive. You don't have to be, I'll fucking do anything, because you don't have to. Things can work for you in a way that feel good, where you have spaciousness, where you have free time. And again, if you're just joining my story at the beginning of being an burned out engineer to where I am now, having so much spaciousness is proof of that. But when you're committed, you are in, you are doing it. And it's not because you're constantly thinking about what results am I going to get? What am I going to get out of this? Will people sign up for my class if I go live? It's not about that. When you're open, when you're detached, when you're committed, you just do it. And again, you trust. You trust. You come back to trust again and again and again and again. Yeah? Another way to simplify is to know that what is obvious for you is not obvious for everyone. Again, this is coming back to the constantly questioning. Your message is enough. Your content is enough. More than enough, actually. There are going to be people out there, we might think, right? A lot of my messages have to do with trusting yourself, listening to your own inner wisdom, right? Having spaciousness, creating freedom in your life. A lot of that stuff comes a bit naturally to me. Of course, I have incredible teachers, amazing teachers. It's taken a lot of practice in my life, but it's very much a part of who I am. But if I were sitting here saying, oh, well, everybody knows that. They don't. People don't know how to do that, right? So you might be, say for instance, if you're an herbalist, right? And you may think that certain things are obvious or simple or whatever. It might be simple, but there are people out there who need your message, right? And you don't have to try to talk to everybody. You can talk to the people who here's what we do, right? We get still. You don't necessarily have to be still. I mean, internally still, right? So your body can be moving, you can be dancing, you can be out walking in nature. But you all, all of you here are teachers, guides, mentors, whether you have clients currently or not. That's who you're meant to be, and you know that. You know you have a message to bring, right? So when you're really tapped into who you are, what is the message that's being asked of you to convey? And this might be something that you're currently going through. This might be something that you've been through for the last few years. but you listen when you know what it is. And you share it. And you trust that this message is coming through you for a reason. And that the people who are meant to be with you, the people who are meant to work with you, will hear it. And they will hear it on a soul level. Because you're not speaking surface level anymore. You're not creating content or creating courses from what should I make? What did I learn about in my courses that I can teach? It's not coming from up here, it's coming from here. It's coming from this. Right? And that's when people truly hear it. And by hear it, I mean they don't even need to be convinced. There's no convincing there. Because it's just boom, like it's just in them. And they feel it. And that's when it goes beyond people needing to see your sales pages, people needing to talk to you for an hour to know if they want to pay you or not. Forrest, he's in like 3 feet of snow out there. It's so cute. Oh, he's pooping now. Okay, so an example of this is when I first opened Integrate and Uplevel. A direct line of connection, yes. When I first opened Integrate and Uplevel, I didn't have a sales page. I didn't have a start date. But I knew that the container was going to be so cute. I knew the container was going to be awesome. And I have a couple years now built up of creating heart connections with people. So when I opened the container, right, and I literally just posted a story that was like, hey, this is going to be a mastermind. I don't have a sales page. I don't know when it starts. If you want in, let me know. And I immediately had people sign me up, sign me up, sign me up. Without needing to know the start date, without needing to see a sales page, without needing to talk to me or like think about it. They just knew. Because when we talk to people on a heart level, when it's coming from something that is like greater than us, people can just feel us. And they're like, yeah, I know I want to work with this person. Right? When it comes to simplification in your business, it really is about you deciding. And by deciding, I mean, it may not feel 100% true yet, but you start to act in the way that your business is really going to match up with how you really want it to be. Simple looks different for everyone, but what I mean by that is it's how you want it to be. And I think for most of us here, it means really easy conversations, easy sales, lots of spaciousness in your life. So again, coming back to trust. Ask yourself, here's a question that you can take home, a little bit of homework. Ask yourself, what is something that I want to, what is a way of being in my business that I really want to have happen? So one of those things might be, okay, I don't want to start until 10 or 11. Great. Can you then schedule all your calls to start after 11? If someone asks you, hey, can I do a call at 9? Can you say, can you do 2? Can you hold that boundary? Can you not check your phone until 11? Not check your emails? And at first, your system might be like, oh, but what if someone's trying to reach you? Oh, what if this person is like, oh my gosh, like, you can't do a call with me at 9? And you have to detox that. And your default will start to change to believing, when you start to see, okay, my world doesn't crumble, your default will start to change to, this gets to work like this. now I do most of my calls. Sometimes I do, things like this masterclass or different things on different days, but most of my calls now are on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I like them to be grouped together. I like to get them all like done at once, and it doesn't mean I'm doing a lot of calls. I limit how many I can do. I limit how many one-on-ones I work with. I limit how many people are in my mastermind, in both of my masterminds, because I have 2 masterminds, right? I tell people, like, if someone comes to me and they want to book a call, if this week I have more calls than I can add in another for my energy, which is different from everybody else's. I don't do many calls, right? I say, okay, I can do next week or the next week. I don't feel a need to shove people in. I allow myself freedom to decide, do I want to work on the weekends or do I not? If it feels inspired, I do. Like doing this class feels inspired, feels good to me. But I don't force myself to do things. Same thing about mornings. I take a lot of time in the mornings before I start work. If my body feels tired like it did for the last few days, I don't force myself to do anything. Right? How are you all feeling? Let me know if you have any questions. There's one other thing I want to go over. As a whole, right? Something can happen when it starts to be easier. We can have guilt come up, right? Because there's a lot of people who don't have access to this level of ease or haven't learned how to create this level of ease. So that's guilt, right? Or we can have an addiction where we don't truly believe that things can be this good and this easy and this spacious. I've done this so much. And we start looking for problems. We start trying to find ways that things aren't good because we don't trust that things are good. We don't trust that things can be easy. We don't trust that people are going to come to us. An example of this could be, right, my mastermind starts Monday. There's 5 spots left. I don't have to fill those spots. I want to, but I don't have to. I have plenty of money in the bank. The people who are in the container are fucking amazing. We're going to have a great time. But I could tell myself this isn't enough. I could pressure myself and be like, I have to fill these 5 spots. I could say, oh, I haven't shared enough today. I haven't put it out there. People aren't hearing me. So I could get on my computer. I could write an email. I could make more stories. I could make more posts from a place of like, it's not enough. And it could work, and it could not. It could push people away with that energy, right? Or I could get tired, and then come Monday, when the mastermind starts, my energy isn't as good and ready to hold these people. Or I could stay lean back. I could stay resting. I could say, okay, yeah, the story I made is enough. I know there are other people out there thinking about it. I know people have come to me and say, hey, Melissa, I think I'm going to join. I can just trust, right? So I'm not pushing. I'm not trying to again, manipulate the situation. I'm not trying to create problems where there aren't really problems. And instead, and again, that comes back to the ego. It's not about me. It's not about, can I fill these 5 spots? Can I make X amount more money? I can be good. I can be good. I can be good. And then from that place, I can come here. I can teach without needing anything from you. I can create stories without needing people to sign up. I can enjoy my weekend without needing a certain outcome by Monday. And because of that, I have so much more trust. And that's how people just sign up. Because they feel that. And again, people want that. Overworking and not feeling enough at the moment. Yeah. I feel you. That was me for a long time, right? So I would invite you every day, right? This doesn't start with the doing. This starts with who you are and how you be, basically. I would invite you to lay down on your floor. I do this like every day. I do a lot of practices every day. Someone actually recently asked me, do you have like a podcast that talks about your practices? And I was like, no, and I should probably make that because I do a lot and I love it. I was doing this before this class, actually. Lay down on the floor, lay down on your bed, whatever. You can do this with clothes, you can do this without clothes, doesn't matter. But like, connect to your body, feel your body, and take deep, 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 deep breaths. Do this 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. And feel this breath moving into the parts of you. The more you connect to your body, right, through dance, through breath work, through all of this, meditation, whatever it is, you'll start to notice your energy and you can feel where it is. And you can feel what it feels like. And the places that feel closed off, so my heart does this a lot. It will like constrict and it'll be like, you're not enough, scarcity, fear, right? And so when I feel that come up, I know it's time to breathe into that and let it open. And let myself feel like enough. And again, not only to let myself feel like enough, to come back again and again and again to what my mission is and what I'm here to do. And then from that place of enoughness, from the place of like, my work is powerful, and I love people, and I know that I can help people through my love, right? Me here on this masterclass talking to you all is a form of my love. And when I have that connection, right, then that drives what I do. Who I am, what I feel, drives what I do. So the overworking will naturally dissolve. You'll become more powerful, you'll become more potent, you'll become more magnetizing. As that state of being relaxes, opens, trusts, believes, you don't have to do so much. Yeah, honey. I feel you. Oh my God, me for years, right? What time is it? I don't even know. Oh, we're rounding out to the hour mark. Does anybody have any questions about simplifying, about anything in your business, really? I'm open to take any questions. Oh, what am I doing to my hair? Thank you all for joining me on this weekend. Integrate and Up Level starts Monday. If you're feeling called to have a really high level of support, if you're just getting started in your business, about to get started, or you're somewhere in year one, this is the kind of support I wish I had when I got started, and the kind of support that I resisted for so long. And I'm putting everything into this container to make sure that you all have just like all the loving support to help you believe in yourself, to believe in your message, to know how to make incredible content, to know how to hold space, to put offers together, and to really do it in a way that is lined up with who you truly are and the kind of life that you want to lead. If you're feeling called to it, reach out to me. We have a few spots left. This is the first time I'm announcing it, I had a new class drop in. This was 2 days ago. I was sitting in meditation. It all came through. The entire container all came through. It's called Lead. I'm so excited. Leadership has really been in my heart a lot over the last few years. Learning how to be a leader in our own lives and to lead not only the people who are in our space, but the collective, the world, right? Toward more compassion, more kindness, more wisdom, more grace, more ease, more flow, more generosity, more sharing, more supporting each other. And a lot of the people I work with are incredible visionaries, right? Who have this ability to see this incredible world, right? That we're creating together. And so this class is going to be 4 weeks, 6 classes. It starts with learning more about commitment and readiness and having actual space in your body to hold more. I made this post this morning that for months I wanted more in my business. I wanted to have more clients. I wanted to, grow my revenue, all these things. But I wasn't truly ready because I didn't have the emotional or energetic space. I went through a lot of healing and I created that space. And now so much is flooding in. So much is flooding in. I got engaged. My community has just been pouring love onto us. My business has been booming, right? And so that's the first module. The second module is about your voice, about your message and how to really drop in and convey that. Okay, voice activation. Then embodiment of your mission, knowingness that this is what you're meant to be doing, channeling God through your business, learning to lead yourself and to have self-care as a leader. And then how to impart empowerment in your containers, in your content, in your messaging, in your DMs, all of it. How to be empowered and to impart that onto others, whether they're prospective clients, people who just consume your content, or your clients. And then the last call is a Q&A and celebration. And then there's homework after all of these as well. Practices, journaling prompts, reflective points, all that kind of thing. So this container is on super, super early bird. Regular, it's going to be $1,222. Right now, it is marked down to $888. I'm only doing this for a short period of time. I'm not promoting it right now. It's kind of like a secret promotion. So if you're interested in that container, please send me a DM. And it's possible too to bundle that class with Integrate and Uplevel or any of my other courses if you're interested. So that is it, you all. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this class has been inspiring for you and transformative in whatever way you need through simplification. And I'd love to connect with you all. Feel free to send me a DM on Instagram. I love intimacy. I love actually speaking to people. So feel free to send me a voice message or a regular message, and I'm here for you all the time. So I love you. If you're watching the replay, again, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'll talk to you soon.